I found this list on Instagram on how to rage bait a man. We have to read this together. It's too good. What sport would you play if you were athletic? Whatever makes you feel big and strong. Personal favorite, whatever you say, princess. Buddy, just buddy. You seem like you don't have sisters. You look easy to draw. This next one, you look like you read with your finger. This one, how tall do you wish you were? You look like you can't swim. You seem like you were homeschooled. You look like you're afraid of heights. Do you cut your own hair? You look like your first friend was imaginary. This is my favorite one. Nice pixie cut.
That's the joke.
Well, I hate to break it to you, sister, but that's not rage baiting. There's no tricking or tomfoolery to get a reaction out of a guy. You're just being a mean bully. You're making fun of a man's height, his facial structure, not to mention your assumption on whether or not he can swim, but I get it. Your mother was a failure and she failed you as a child, and considering that jagoff Dr. Emmett L. Brown could land his flying locomotive time machine on your forehead, I could see why you find any of those things to be funny. And I get why you're laughing as well. Your life is so empty and miserable that most hobos are thanking their luckiest of stars that they don't have your life. So the only joy you get is to go on Instagram and endlessly cackle at pathetic attempts at rage baiting as you imagine yourself getting to say these lines to men. The only problem is you clearly haven't been on a date in at least 2 years, and you'll never have an opportunity to rage bait a guy because your cruddy batter cave of sloppy resentment has accumulated so much dust that you're going to play extra nice in hopes that you'll get a little bedroom fun so you can actually feel something for once in your life. That's never gonna happen. There isn't a self-respecting man alive who's gonna stomach the mere thought of seeing you in your awkwardly stained granny panties.
Ew. What a mess. Ew. Ew. Ew.
My wish is for all women to just get extremely rowdy and unruly and honest with themselves and everyone else around them. Because we are conditioned as young girls to ignore all the signals in our bodies saying that person is weird, that person's not safe to be around, I don't like the way that that person just talked to me, I don't like the way that that person just devalued me, I'm not comfortable with any of this. And we learn to completely stuff it down and get gaslit out of our own realities, or decide subconsciously that it will be safer to just not live in that reality and not live in our bodies because it would create a lot of disruption to those around us and make people around us very uncomfortable. It's time to make people uncomfortable again. I believe in you.
Shut up, you don't exist.
Translation? I'm a middle-aged human life failure who spent my prime years chasing after men I knew were terrible for me. But because they were hot and I was easier than Kung Fu on the NES, I ignored all of the red flags because I believed that getting drunk and making terrible decisions was the most logical thing to do with my life. But now that I'm middle-aged with no dating prospects and even less hope for my own future, I've decided the most rational and mature course of action is to blame society, men, and everything I possibly can just so I can justify my terrible attitude towards an entire group of people that don't even know me. That way, I can give myself permission to be an unlikable wretch as I pay my therapist $800 a week to tell me exactly what I want to hear so I don't have to grow up, and I can use that as an excuse to eat endless cans of cake frosting as I vicariously live my life through crappy reality television shows that I use to cope with the fact that I am unlovable and an unlikable human being. On a scale of 1 to 10, how close am I?
Manipulate a man. My favorite thing to do ever. Call me a red flag. I don't care. It works, okay? I like to call this one the you are so right setup. Let him explain something to you, okay? Anything. How to use a machine, how to do the laundry. I don't care. Just anything. Let him listen with all ears, eyes, and mouth. Just yes. Oh, okay. Yep. Act impressed. 2 days go by, okay? 2 days. 48 hours are going by, and then you're actually going to mention to him that you knew what he was teaching you the whole time. You actually heard about it from another guy a year ago, or your brother or your dad, whatever that may be. You already knew. He will now try harder than he ever has before, okay, to impress you, and that is what we need.
What?
Wait. So your plan to manipulate this guy is to lie to him, fake interest as he tries to help you with a problem that you have, and then turn around and tell him that you knew how to solve the problem the whole time? Woman, that's not manipulation. That is alienation. Now, I can see why you could get those two words confused. You strike me as the type of woman who thinks a dictionary is something that requires an OnlyFreaks subscription. All you're doing is telling the guy that you have no problem mocking him, treating him like an idiot, and making him perform crap that you could have done yourself, all for your own amusement. I mean, you kind of already know this, though, because you can't even explain how insulting this man and wasting his time is supposed to end with him wanting to impress you. A self-respecting man is not going to do that. There's nothing worth impressing.
You stupid.
This is the most correct take you'll hear today. The ring, Taylor Swift's engagement ring, is the ring, the exact ring that should have been used for Bella Swan in Twilight in Breaking Dawn. The ring they put on her in the movie is offensive. It's so ugly. I don't want to hear any chat about it. It literally looks like I could have made that with some construction paper just flat on her finger. No. There is a way to make very large diamonds look classy and have a band on them that aren't literally needle thin.
Yak.
Being aware of racial division.
Get a job.
And I am.
Sister, I mean this from the very depths of where my faith in humanity used to be, but you need to stay away from the construction paper. That piece of technology is far too advanced for the likes of you, and if you get a hold of it, I promise, you're going to end up destroying an entire city block with your sheer incompetence. Now, unlike you, I actually have a life, so I have no idea about the prearranged nuptials for Taylor Swift or the ring that's sponsoring the affair. And because I have a life, I've also never seen any of the Twilight movies because, unlike you, I actually have respect for my own dignity. But even with that being said, I don't see how this is the most correct take of the day or why you felt the need to record yourself talking about some overpaid, middle-aged crap pop singer while you're also driving. Woman, I know that you're clearly the victim of the Western public education system, but this kind of crap does not need to be talked about while you're commanding 1.5 tons of steel. And when you take a second to realize that you can't even be trusted with a pair of scissors without your elderly parents' supervision, it just makes it all the more insane.
Like, I don't know who it was, Jeff Bezos' wife. It's like people who have money and don't know how to use it. Like, babes, like you didn't even ask the jeweler what band you should have to make it not look like this skinny little band, this massive diamond. Like, it's just like, it just doesn't look like it. It's not gonna last, and it's gonna, it's gonna bend. It's metal. It bends. Absolutely phenomenal execution. I was a little worried. Well, not worried. I will say that my taste, Taylor Swift's taste and my taste differ a little bit when it comes to certain things, millennials that we are. No notes.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
You know, woman, I really don't think it's wise to comment on the spending habits of billionaire Bond henchmen when you're the one who's clearly broke here. Now, Jeff Bezos is a dumbass considering he's going to lose about 75% of his net worth through multiple divorces, but that's really beside the point. I mean, you do realize it's all fake, right? Taylor Swift doesn't know who you are, nor does she care to, and your taste in shiny things is immaterial because you'll be lucky to get a brain-damaged amnesiac to propose to you with a cheap plastic gumball machine ring. Taylor Swift is pretty much controlled by several corporations, the CIA, and I'm fairly certain a handful of Satanists. And even if that wasn't true, it doesn't really matter. Famous people getting married means absolutely nothing. It doesn't change the fact that you're a loser who thinks making nonsense commentary on an engagement ring warrants potential vehicular manslaughter.
I always said women are bad drivers.
He's trying to humble you, he's insecure. Insecure men's first #1 goal is to literally humble a baddie. It's literally the weirdest thing I've ever encountered in my life. This man tried to humble me once and he told me that he hated me. And at first I was like upset, you know? But then I was like, he hates himself. Haha! Because you hate me for what? The fact that I'm gonna be more successful than you in your whole entire life? You could be successful too, but your personality is so goddamn ugly. Nobody wants to fucking be around you. And if you don't like me, great. My family loves me. My friends love me. I've got a whole community who loves me. Sit your punk ass down. You feel the need to humble me for what? Because you don't have enough going on in your personal life? That you're so goddamn fucking lonely? That you can't even spend time with yourself? I might be textbook lonely, but I have 5 really good friends who love me, know me, care about me, and would do anything for me. And have done everything for me.
Congratulations!
All right, you know what, woman? I'm willing to write you a post-dated, personalized check for 1 intergalactic space buck and 27 cents if you can actually define the word humble. But that's only because it's easy money for me. You couldn't define that word if your life depended on it. That man wasn't trying to humble you when he said that he hated you. He said he hated you because you made him realize that Mick Foley taking that chokeslam through hell in a cell would be a hell of a lot more safer and feel a hell of a lot more better than being around you. He wasn't insecure. He was just telling you the truth. You're the one who's insecure because you ended up going on a massive diatribe based on 3 words some random dude told you. And for the record, if you have to list off all the people who like you and brag about your friends, that's a modern woman's equivalent of a guy saying, well, at least my mom thinks I'm handsome. It's not a flex. It's just living proof of what we already know. And that is you are so insecure, it makes 95% of the soy boy population of planet Earth seem like manly badasses by comparison.
Hating me for showing you love that you couldn't even show yourself? Come on now. When someone is doing that to you, they're showing you exactly what they think about themselves, not you. Because really what they want to do is destroy your confidence, because theirs is destroyed. I still showed them love when they needed it the most.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
I don't need their love. I love myself. If you don't let me cool, you're already doing all this extra shit, you stupid bitch. So how does this sound? Your dad hates you. Your mom's not in your life. You have no siblings to hate you. And I hate you too.
I hated that so much.
You know, I just realized something. Whenever these painfully insecure and hateful broads go on these unhinged rants about some dude who didn't want her while she's caking on makeup, it's just the modern woman's equivalent of smoking a pack of cigarettes. I mean, think about it. How many of these videos have we seen where these chicks angrily plaster on makeup as they bitch and moan about dudes? They freak out, they start swearing up a storm, and they can't stop themselves from adding on another layer of chemicals as they try to hide the fact that their hairline is receding faster than any redeeming qualities they may have as a human. I mean, it makes sense. Woman, do you realize that you just spent 90 seconds going on an obscenity-laden rant about some dude, and the only thing you could come up with were a whole bunch of childish insults that seem immature even by first grader standards? There isn't enough makeup in the world to cover up your hate, your insecurity, or your inability to insult somebody without completely screwing it up. So you might as well cake on another layer, sister. We all know you want to.
That's funny because it's so true.
Okay, only do this if you really want to get somebody obsessed with you. And guys, this takes actually a lot of like self-control and discipline. Okay, I've used this on so many people and it works. Here we go. And you know, this is for all those women who are against toxic behavior. This is for you. Because I'm not here to play nice with men. Honestly, I'm so sick of the women who are like, be nice to men, be equal, be even. Yeah, tell that to all of the exes who fucked me over so bad. Fucked me over into next lifetime, right? Yeah, tell it to all those people. This is men, guys. And the majority of women will tell you this. Who has really not had an awful experience? Who has been really, really, really brandedly bad and scarred and just dragged through the mud? And you want to say to be nice to men? No.
Emotional damage.
Hang on, I'm kind of confused here. You're saying that you have a strategy to make men obsessed with you, but in the same diatribe, you end up screaming about how much you hate men and about how much men have damaged you and about how if men didn't exist, then ice cream unicorns would show up at your doorstep with free makeup and magical cures for your multiple cases of herpes. So if we're all harbingers of every single life screw up you've ever made, then why would you want any of us obsessed with you? I mean, wouldn't you want to adopt strategies that would make us want to ignore you? That would make more sense, but then again, your insatiable hate towards an entire group of men based on the 10 to 15 dudes who porked you will always take a back seat when it comes to your insatiable hate towards the men who aren't giving you the validation that you need as an excuse to get out of bed every morning. And it makes even more sense when you consider that you don't even have a nice bone in your body. You're so broken and used up that the only two emotions you allow yourself to feel are soul-crushing depression and unbridled rage. So your plan isn't off to a good start there, sweetheart, because wasting our time with a woman like you? Nah.
Ladies, this is your moment. Do whatever the fuck you want, okay? Stand up for yourself. Be mean. Be a bitch. Who the fuck cares? Take back your power
and just watch how your life changes. And for all these hoes are telling you to be nice to men, I really bet that their husbands and their boyfriends or whoever they're their situationships, they are all cheating on them.
Whoa, that is some deep dish racism, motherfucker.
But back to the technique. All right, ready? You have plans with the man. You have to at least have plans with the man first, okay? So this is for the women who have a plan with somebody already. Someone's asked you on a date, okay? It's the day of the date. It's the day of the hookup. It's the day of the whatever. I don't care how sexy this man is. I don't care. I don't care. At the last minute, you're going to, in a very cute way, oh my gosh, you know what? Something came up. I actually have to cancel. Thanks for being so understanding. Then say nothing else. Don't say anything else. And oh my gosh. Try it out. Let me know what happens.
Well, bye.
All right, let me get this straight here. You hate men and you're convinced that all men are cheaters, but this plan of yours involves making yourself look attractive to men, getting into regular communication with them, planning dates, hookups, or whatever, and then canceling on them last minute? Well, that seems like an awful lot of work just to get some attention from a dude. And what makes this even funnier is how you've clearly never done this before. You have no examples or any experience with any of this. You're just butthurt that Chad canceled on you last minute so he could head on over to Skeeter's house to play some office chair dodgeball. And because you're so obsessed with getting canceled on, you think that this will somehow work. But I'm here to tell you it really won't. Chad's already forgotten your name and you're still furious over the fact that you're going to spend yet another night alone. And your solution is becoming even more of a foul-mouthed female dog than you already are. But if that's how you want to live your life, then have at it. It's your life to waste. Just don't be surprised when your crappy behavior leads to nobody being obsessed with you because you're so unpleasant that the mere idea of having idle chit-chat while waiting in line at a supermarket seems like an unwarranted amount of hell when it comes from you. You know, there's always things you can count on in life. Quality mini golf putters, a really nice set of Japanese steak knives, and the fine members of the bounty board over on Patreon. There's no other group that I would trust with well-crafted cutlery or folks who are crack shots at windmills and getting holes in one at impossible angles. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the bounty board over on Patreon, where $5 a month gets you access to exclusive content you're not going to find on YouTube. Links in the pinned comment down below if you want to check it out. And that's going to do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and be sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.